Hey, everybody. I'm sitting here in my $3 million home. That's right, guys. I'm here today to tell you guys about the lovely world of cryptocurrency. You yourself can be a millionaire by age 12 with these three simple steps. Now, it's important, all right? We don't want to get into drop shipping. We don't want affiliate marketing. All that stuff is crap. We want to get into Dogecoin. We want Bitcoin. We want Poop Coin. We want all that good stuff. And, also, don't be afraid to get in the coal mines as a kid. All right, a little bit of black lung never hurt nobody. And these are my three simple steps to being a millionaire by 12. Please
But
click the link below
hey,
and
wait,
and
weren't you
check out my
weren't
free course.
wasn't
Um,
wasn't your mom a millionaire before? So weren't you born into it?
I yearn for the mines. I don't know about you guys. Please comment below if you guys yearn for the mines.
Hey guys, welcome to the Cosmic Panel, where this week we're going to be discussing our weekly polls. Before we get into it, we do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Comic Universe. Look at 446 McDade Boulevard. They have an awesome collection of trades and hardcovers. They got keys, graded books, new comics every Wednesday, and they got a huge collection of back issues. And their dollar bins are to die for. So, highly recommend you check them out. Uh, and if you do, say hi to Mike and Mike. Thanks, guys.
As always, guys, comment below what you're excited to pull for this week. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Lucas, what is your first pull?
My first poll is Titans number 14. The last arc's been okay. It's been interesting dealing with Raven becoming this evil threat. But the main thing I want to bring up is the fact that Levi Kamei is coming back as Swamp Thing. It has been a minute since we've seen him as Swamp Thing. Since Dark Crisis, I believe he had a small part in that. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen because he is such an awesome character. And I would love if he joined full time the Titans. They offered him a membership and he declined. Just saying, it would be really cool, Levi, if you joined fully.
Is he
Or
is he young? I mean, he's not a teenager, obviously, but is he like what? He's got to be like 20s.
yeah, but this isn't the Teen Titans. That's the thing. The Titans are now just like a
No, I
group
know.
of.
I was just thinking. Like, it made me think. Is he really young? Because
I think he's like 29 ish. Like not too old. He was old enough to like be a reporter, but not old enough to like. I mean, his dad. He was just recently left his living with his dad in the past couple of years, so
right.
he was like in his late 20s, I would say.
Yeah. Are they going to get into some green stuff?
Yeah, my
Some
guess is
green and
that
red.
yeah, they're gonna deal with some green stuff specifically because there's something with Trigon coming and Raven being the dark winged queen, and it's affecting the green and even for Beast Boy. So it's interesting. It's a lot of setup, but I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. And it seems definitely devoid from the rest of Absolute Power, though. I will point that out.
Right.
So
Yeah.
very
Surprisingly,
interesting
no
nonetheless.
Titans tie-ins for Absolute Power, which is strange.
Yeah, it was actually kind of surprising, but I guess the Task Force 7 kind of works as that because we're following like all the different heroes. Every issue is like a different batch of them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I'm excited just to see Levi again. It's been a while.
Cool.
What about you, Elias? What's your first pick?
My first pick for this week is another number one. This is Jenny Sparks number one. Who the hell's that? Well, if you guys were reading Brave and the Bold at the beginning there, you know that the Wildstorm characters had a lovely little mini series within there, uh, drawn by Jeff Spokes, who we now have on the cover and interiors for this book. And now this is going to be written by Tom King. The Brave and the Bold series was not. So this is pretty fun. We're going to have a more obscure character get the Tom King treatment, which is very exciting in many ways. This is also exciting because this is a black label book. And I love this artist, and I'm really excited to see him spread his wings with this character and really get into the Wildstorm universe.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, the spirit of the 20th century is a deep cut character. Not gonna lie. Then again, Tom King always works well with those deep cuts. They actually had recently a new incarnation of not Jenny Sparks, but the spirit of the 21st century in the Outsiders book, which was pretty interesting. And her name was like Jenny Chaos. because that has been very chaotic. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this book. I know it's a dark label, black label book. So I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, I guess the one downside is that we won't see where we won't get to follow up on the Wildcats after their series ended, earlier this year, last year at this point. But it will allow Tom to freely use these characters and maybe have some shocking twists and turns, as we know that he always has. So yeah,
Yeah, she has pretty wild powers too. Like she's immortal, quote unquote, and can manipulate electricity and electronic devices. So pretty wild overall. Not gonna lie.
yeah, I'm very curious. Lucas, what's your next pick?
My next pick is Wonder Woman number 12. We're following up. Uh, Not that great of an issue, to be honest, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen because we have, I guess, combination of Damian Wayne and Wonder Woman, which I don't think has ever really happened as far as I can remember. Pretty interesting that Damian and Diana are going to be working together, because I love the idea of these two warriors who are constantly used to having to hold back now and very, very physically well trained, even without their powers or without Diana's powers. Very well trained warrior having to fight against these robots. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, this is hopefully going to be a better continuation of Wonder Woman's time in the Absolute Power era. She sort of didn't have a fighting chance, and I also was just a little confused as to why she was with the Justice League Dark at the beginning there. It's just a weird issue. But anyway, um, hopefully we get some follow up on that, and hopefully we'll get some more quality time with Hal, I'm hoping. Um, did you read Green Lantern?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm hoping that he's now able to help them out more. He transported a whole cache of weapons and items to their new hideout. So
coming in
yeah,
clutch.
yeah. So I'm glad Hal is becoming a bigger part of this, and hopefully we see some of that interaction in this Wonder Woman issue.
What's next up for you, Elias?
Next up for me is Jonathan Hickman's Wolverine Revenge #1. This is a brand new Wolverine miniseries that is going to have a regular edition and a red band edition. Eat up those red bands, give Marvel your money. This is pretty fun looking. This is a really cool creative team of Jonathan Hickman and Greg Capullo. To my knowledge, Greg Capullo has not drawn Wolverine before, at least in an ongoing format. And I think he's a great fit. Uh,
Yeah,
just based on this cover alone, I think everyone can agree. And yeah, this is kind of, I think, going to be more of a fun book. Nothing super heavy, but I am curious to see what Hickman's plans are here. Hickman's obviously a very busy guy these days, but seems to have some cool ideas that made this series come about. So pretty excited, and I'm always down for some good Wolverine slash 'em ups.
I can't wait to find out that Wolverine's actually the chosen one of the entire Marvel universe due to the lore implications set up by 50 issues of Jonathan Hickman's Gods.
I hope Hickman doesn't feel a need to just flex his deep muscles every time.
Nah, this is definitely a one for you, one for me type of deal.
Yeah,
Where he's
I think
like,
so.
ah, fuck it, I want to write Wolverine because I don't get to do that shit. I don't get to do like dumb fun stories anymore.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's funny here to see, just based on the cover alone, how easily Capullo translates his Batman skills to Wolverine.
Oh yeah, no, I mean the claws themselves already, like it's like, oh yeah, we're set.
Yeah, so I'm excited to pick this one up, see what it's all about.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is Get Fury #4. Last issue was pretty great, but we had a pretty wild reveal, which was the fact that uh, Fury has a daughter and a lover in Vietnam, and they have asked Frank Castle to help save them. So the question now is, why was Fury back in Vietnam? Might have been because of that. Very interesting. Implies a lot of interesting stuff, but also the fact that Fury is still being tortured and has not given up anything. I truly think he would die before giving up anything. But I also like seeing the behind the scenes of the people running like a almost illegal drug cartel ring, freaking out because they're part of the military, and Fury knows that. And as soon as he comes back, he's probably gonna like get them court-martialed and stuff. So they're trying to get Fury killed, and they sent accidentally the one person who would probably help Fury rather than betray him, which is Frank Castle. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. This story has been very interesting. A lot of interesting real world parallels.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing, a Fury story with actual politics. I think
Crazy.
using this character, well, it's interesting, right, to think about how far he's come, right? Like a character that was very much used for not propaganda, but maybe
No, very
political
much propaganda.
propaganda, uh, you know, uh, during the war times. Now, today, to making some actual real commentaries on like the Vietnam War and stuff like that. So, yeah, big props to Garth Ennis on that.
Yeah, no, very very much very cool.
Very much, very cool.
Shut
That's
the
the get.
fuck up.
That's the Get Fury tagline.
Anyway, Elias, what's your next pull?
Next up for me is going to be Scarlet Witch number 3. This is another character not dissimilar to Moon Knight's recent saga, who has really just gotten a creative team that's perfect for them. And in this case, we have Steve Orlando with Scarlet Witch. It's got to be what, 2 maybe 3 years now that Steve Orlando's been working with Scarlet Witch. But yeah, this is basically her third volume, if you count Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, where they're really diving into her character, building out her universe, pulling deep into her catalog,
This is a
and
very
just
much
having
deep
a
cut.
yeah, and having a great time. I've really been enjoying this. I think this new artist is doing their is a great fill in for Pikeli. I think they're really taking note and also doing their own thing. But yeah, this got really heavy really fast. This is stuff that's been building up since the beginning, and these are threats that are now very real and are giving Wanda a legitimate hard time. Happy to see more Quicksilver in this series. That's always really great, and happy to see some deep references, like her green look at the end of last issue is a
Yeah,
really deep pull. But yeah, this is really cool. We have, I think, according to League, I know that Russell's been doing the covers, but Russell's supposedly doing the interiors, which would be a real treat. I love him. So it looks like that's the case. So that's exciting. It looks like maybe we have two artists. Yeah, we have two artists. We have Russell Dodderman and Jacopo Camagni. Saying that wrong, it's okay. But yeah, Wanda has to basically fight her way back to the land of the living. She's in some strange, magical hell, and there's a lot to be done for her now to really save her town and save the world.
yeah, and I didn't know about this lore character. Did you, by any chance?
Which character?
Lore, the one on the front cover.
Oh, this is, I think, from earlier in Steve's run, is it
No,
not?
that's the thing. It's from a '90s run. Um,
Oh,
it's
okay,
a
okay,
it's an
okay,
evil.
okay.
Apparently, this is what League says. It's an evil counterpart from a universe that heavily relied on necromancy.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wild though.
This is from I think her solo series. Yeah, in '94. That's really funny.
It's crazy that he's pulling a deep cut like that. I was
There
like,
you go.
oh, but yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't realize that was like an alternate version of Wanda. I thought that was just like her new look, which I was like so down for. I mean, that's a sick as fuck costume. I'm not gonna lie. Either way,
yeah. I'll be curious if this is the original version of her or not. Because yeah, that was very much a character that they left in the '90s. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, again, I compare it to the current Moon Knight saga because the writers doing serious research, extensive research, and but still making their character their own and bringing them into a new era. So yeah, really fun, and I'm excited to read this next issue. All right, Lucas, what's next up for you?
next up for me is Nightclub 2, number 1. Um, this is following up the events of Big Game and the previous series of Nightclub. Um, And yeah, this series was so fucking good. It was basically about three friends who were kind of losers who became vampires and kind of found a weird loophole of if you wear masks, technically the sun doesn't touch you. So you can just wear masks and be vampires during the day, which is pretty wild. But yeah, so they were dressing up as superheroes, and then at the end of their main series, uh, the main character Danny started dating the girl in the group, uh, uh, Amy, and Sam was pretty pissed. Sam kind of went all bad because he had a crush on her, but um, realizing now that he has so much more power, he's kind of like becoming the bully in this scenario because he was the overweight kid that was always bullied, and now suddenly he has vampire powers. So now they're dealing with that, and Sam wants to make his own vampire group. So should be interesting either way, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, I had no idea they were doing this sequel. That's very cool. I know you really enjoyed the first volume, and yeah, I really just know them from Big Game because I did read Big Game, and they got their shit fucked up in that. So
Yeah,
I don't think they have to dwell on the events of Big Game, but I think it would be good to just have that kind of looming anxiety that they probably have from experiencing that event and
yeah.
being
Luckily, they
brought
don't
back.
remember their own deaths, but still.
Right. Um, but yeah, that's very cool. I'm glad they're continuing this universe.
Yeah, no, it seems like after Big Game, they're gonna hit the ground running with this, and then keep going from there, which is nice.
Yeah, I hope so.
More ambassadors, please. Anyway, Elias, what's next up for you?
Next up for me is going to be Batman Superman World's Finest number 30. Now, this is not an absolute power tie-in. This is
Yawn.
not
Just
a
always choosing the
continuation.
same thing
Uh,
over and over again. Oh, we get it. You like the book. You like the. No, I'm joking.
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Um, but this is special, and I can talk about it because it's a prequel issue, prequel
Yeah.
story.
And he's been doing pretty good on those prequel issues.
Yeah. This time the fill-in artist is Gleb Melnikov, who I've
Not Dan
known
Morrow. What could he
from.
possibly be doing that's taking up his time so
What is
much?
he so busy with, man? Unbelievable. Lazy, lazy.
He's like absolutely
Just doing
lazy.
covers. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
But
totally
no,
not doing a mega event.
but Gleb, I know from his cover work. I don't think I've seen his interiors before, so this should be interesting. And yeah, this is the story of the Trinity's first mission together. Obviously, an iconic trio at this point. So this should be a really fun issue. I'm very excited to see what they get into. And Mark just is, excellent at writing these timeless pieces. So yeah.
Yeah. I also just realized Gleb was the one who did one of my favorite Robin runs, which was the most recent one with Damien. He did the interior art and covers for
Oh, the
that. So
the Damien series.
Death Tournament, yeah,
Oh, word, nice,
yeah.
very
So
good.
very very good at portraying fight choreography because that book was like 90% fight choreography.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. Also, what did you think of the ending of the arc for last issue?
Um, I think the purpose of our Doomite was a reference. I think your theory was correct. I think that it was supposed to be like making fun of a writer or an editor or someone in the biz. I do think that you're correct about that, but Wade couldn't directly do it unless he was making fun of himself. Wade couldn't directly say who this might was a might of. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and I think that did detract from it a little bit, but I think it was a reference that he got, and again, I think it could have been a stab at some other creator. But nonetheless, there were some really, really fun moments. I think the Batmite development was fantastic, making him a little bit more, serious. And
I love Batman
uh,
laughing at him. That was great
that was an awesome moment. Batman just bursting out laughing.
because he looks exactly like Clark.
That was really funny. I was laughing, just at seeing Batmite too. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, it definitely had some cool moments. But I think overall, uh, it was a arc that defeated expectations. Making these mites an actual threat, and doing some real damage to Green Arrow and other heroes was cool. But yeah, I do think that it was a reference that only Wade got, and he
Yeah,
didn't want to reveal who it was, for his own career's sake, perhaps. I'm sure
yeah.
there's a lot of
It
theories
definitely hurt
online, and I'd
the.
like to read about those theories, but yeah.
Yeah, it definitely didn't. It definitely made the landing land a little bit less solidly than I probably would have wanted, to be
Yeah, it wasn't
honest.
as impactful by the end. Um, but yeah, I'd be curious to see, what this prequel issue is, and then to see where our future goes, because I think the next arc uh, is also not Dan, but Wade is just keeping it going. So
God damn it, Dan! You're so fucking lazy, man. Come on. I love you, Dan Moore. Please don't actually be mad at me.
J.K.
we,
Lol.
yeah, we say that in jest. You're doing amazing work.
All right, Lucas, that brings us to your final pull for this week.
Yeah, my final poll is Ultimate Spider-Man number 8. And
Oh my
now,
God, always
yeah,
picking the same
man,
thing.
here we go. uh, yeah, yeah,
Two
yeah.
can play a deck.
Uh, last issue was great. A lot of development, a lot of setup stuff, which is like, ooh, I'm sure this won't possibly go bad in the future. Man, I wonder why the Peter suit dialogue is in black and white text bubbles and happens to look exactly like Venom's text bubbles, and he keeps on saying "we." hmm. I also wonder why. Why I wonder if anything bad could possibly happen from Harry having his abusive father, his personality imbued into his suit. Nothing possibly could go wrong. Also, man, I wonder why those tentacles keep on being positioned behind Otto in a weird frame. Man, it's kind of weird. It's almost like they're hinting at something.
I love the inventive ways to, you know, use old characters in new ways. Like all these, references that we're talking about is just shows you that there are fresh ways to approach these characters still, and like tactful ways to do so,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not just be right on the nose on stuff. So yeah, very, very interesting and very foreboding stuff for sure.
I love the idea though that Peter's Pico suit is potentially maybe actually just a symbiote, but like actually tamed. That's genuinely very interesting. Um,
I guess like a tech based symbiote, if you
yeah,
will.
like a techno organic virus type of deal, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's nanotech. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're
They
saying
said
Pico
Pico,
because it's even smaller
Pico. Yeah, yeah, Pico
than
shit.
nano. So yeah,
And they said that his was more advanced than Harry's, which is interesting, which makes sense because Tony gave him that suit versus Harry just taking it
right.
from the leftover. So it makes sense that Peter would get the more quote unquote like better upgraded version. Very interesting though. But I love Tony appearing at the end being like, "So are you a hero yet?" And it's like it's so funny seeing him like act all cool and everything when I know in every other book he's literally the newbie. And I kind of love him
Yeah,
like always putting on the show, being like, "Yeah, I'm so cool. You guys have to respect me."
yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
There's something really funny about a Tony Stark that isn't as charismatic or like egotistical. He's like, I hope I'm good enough. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen. And also, yeah, I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen to Harry. I'm sure it won't lead to any horrific results,
But yeah,
like
that
Gwen Stacy
moment.
being dropped from a bridge, specifically. If I had to take a guess,
Uh-huh. But that specific moment that you're talking about when Tony comes in at the last frame, and is giving, a real presence in the room, is another cool commentary on, the character behind the mask and the character that you put on when you wear that mask and stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely an overarching theme. Um, and again, all these characters coming into their powers late in life also has an interesting effect on their personalities in that way. Um,
yeah.
but
I
yeah,
also
I can't
love.
believe it's been 6 months already.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I love the fact that they kept in. They committed to the 6 month time jump for Tony, and just now he's gonna get to reach out and talk to Peter.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for this next issue. This is the time for these characters to unite, especially now that Kingpin has hinted at the Sinister Six. He's, I don't have one plan; I have six of them. Is funny, and
That was a great line.
yeah. So very excited to see how we source these guys, because we haven't seen anything of that yet. But from the cover that has been in previews, it's a very eclectic, Sinister Six lineup. So yeah, I'll be very curious to see them set that up, and just more beautiful art from Chichetto as always.
Yeah, we do have to address the elephant in the room. Too many of you guys have been simping over the new Ultimate Black Cat on the cover. You guys have been saying that Peter should divorce Mary Jane, and it's completely valid for him to cheat on her just because Black Cat is stunning. I just want to say you guys are awful. Did you see the cover though, and the amount of people simping over her? It's
No,
so
I didn't.
funny. So many people simping over her, being like, maybe Peter was right in this universe. It's like, bro, calm down.
Yeah.
uh, anyway, I'll shut the fuck up now. And Elias, what is your final poll?
My top pick for this week is going to be Namor #2. This is Jason Aaron's Namor run. Now, I did talk about #1 in anticipation, but now this is #2 coming out with having read #1. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I think this has a lot of potential. For me, I would say that this is a good place for new and old Namor readers to jump in. If you saw him in Wakanda Forever and were like, "What's up with this guy?" kind of thing, I think you can jump in here and get a
Yeah,
gist of the idea of what's going on, what's been happening to Namor. But I also think that uh, this can be enjoyed by new Namor readers. There was a lot of flashbacks in the first issue that I think were cool, but I'm very curious to see what Jason has planned for this character's future and where Namor is going to go. Because yeah, I think he's got a big plan for sure.
yeah. Um, the, I will say this again. Aaron is great at doing individual characters. I wasn't a huge fan of his Avengers run. Really great when he's doing individual characters, whether it be Punisher, Thor, or Namor. I really love the first issue. That for me really set the tone of the story, where it's more of a redemption story for Namor. Um, that he understands he's messed up. He has endangered his people, and now as a king that has actually learned his place, is now trying to fix that problem, and especially the problem that he left since he just quit. He didn't handle it properly, and now anyone 7 people are trying to take the throne right now, and it's a civil war. So I'm very excited, and man, fuck those guards.
Yeah.
Fucking pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very harsh, dark story for Namor. I think this artist, Paul Davidson, does a good job of painting that dark picture. Not familiar with his work, but I think he's got some cool ideas for the world of Namor for sure. But yeah, really strong premise. I'm excited to see who these 7 people are. Obviously, there's some classics that I always want to see, like Atuma and what's his name? I think Krang is the name of the character. But yeah, there's a lot of deep cuts that we can have here that will make me happy. I grew up with like the '60s Namor show, and I think Jason Aaron has seen that as well, because I do expect some old cuts here. Obviously, we got the Defenders of the Deep, a couple members to show that you know we still remember those characters, which is good. I'm glad we didn't just throw them
We
away.
remember in memory of the
You
defenders
know,
of the team.
because that was a really cool team. I did like that he was establishing the different teams, like Dracula's team and Namor's team, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see the second issue and keep reading this series. All right, guys. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, support your local comic shop, read comics, and don't forget the 3 steps that I said, and don't forget to buy my course about how to be a millionaire by 12.
You're a sellout.